This game was played on February the 25th at Mount Vernon High School between the Mount Vernon Marauders and the Westfield Shamrocks. Westfield came into the game 17-3, number 4 in the ranker poll, and Mount Vernon came into the game 16-4, number 7. The first quarter was all Mount Vernon. After Westfield hit the first bucket, they got a three-pointer on the to open the game. After that point, it was 8-16 at the end of the quarter. Well, the end of the quarter was 11-16. Mount Vernon. The second quarter went a little more towards Mount Vernon, and with Westfield only scoring 6 points in the second quarter. Mount Vernon scoring 11. So at halftime, it was 27 for Mount Vernon and 17 for Westfield. The game took a little bit of a scoring bulge in the third quarter, with Westfield edging Mount Vernon, getting 1 point more than them in the quarter, 17 points to Mount Vernon 16. So at the end of the third quarter, the score was 43-34. And that's where the game took a big change. Westfield has been an expert this year at winning in the fourth quarter, and this was no different. The game was, like I said, 43-34, and number 24 on Westfield came alive, and he pretty much took the team on his back. And at the end of the regulation, the score was 54-54. And here is where I'm going to get into some analysis on what the got us to the point where we were 54-54 coming up here in a minute. But watch this to get up to that point. There was a very controversial call at the end of regulation. And I get into the analysis of that. This is... there's been a big emphasis this year on flopping. They even came up with a flop rule where you were warned. And these three referees basically should have went to the flop school, because if that wasn't a flop at the end of this quarter, I don't know what is. This was a classic Reggie Miller flop, like when he got the 8 points against the Knicks at the end of the game. Unbelievable that this was called a foul on Mount Vernon. There is absolutely no way. Along with this referee constantly putting time back on the clock, we shouldn't have gotten there because the game should have been over. But watch my analysis. The fourth quarter, at the end of the fourth quarter here, you can see that this number 24 for Westfield just takes over the game, and Mount Vernon kind of falls apart there for a little bit, and he gets Mount Vernon back into the game in the last minute. The to the point where they could have won the game in regulation. The amount of panic on Mount Vernon's part was pretty bad. So they basically couldn't get the ball across the 10-second line for like 30 seconds at least. So here we go, and showing you that.
At the line, shooting 2. Returning to the broader lineup. Vernon shooting 2.
This is where referees really, really need to improve. This shot wasn't even close to a foul. There was no body. The ball was gone. The guy obviously flopped. You can even see his hand come on the floor to catch himself. This was the most ridiculous call I've seen all season. The amount of I don't know what to say. This guy was a chili fool. Man, what a way to change the outcome of a game. That's all I got to say. That's all that happened here. Is they changed the outcome of the game. Mount Vernon had led most of the game, and at this point, it had gotten a little bit close right towards the end, which it always does in a Westfield game. This year, they played great in the fourth quarter. But to give them the win this way, or at least a chance for a win, they could have won in regulation if that guy hit the first free throw. Then he doesn't put any time back on the clock, and I know of several times in the fourth quarter where he put time back on the clock, like a half second here and a half second there. So it might have even been after the gun if that were the case, if he hadn't put the time on the clock. But in this video, you can see that at the 2-second mark, he's already clenched his fist. So he should have at least put a half second back on, going by what he'd done previously in the game. But he didn't do that. Here's the analysis for the overtime. It was basically they traded a couple baskets, and we're talking a 2-point variety. And then all of a sudden it became a foul shooting contest, basically. And Mount Vernon kind of got a couple 50-50 balls in the in between and got the advantage on the foul shots. So that was the end of the game, basically. The quality of the video here is not very good. Not sure what happened. My camera it's got to be the camera, because I went back to get a source photo and it's doing the same thing. So sorry about that, but this is the best I could do.